Sajjad Hussaini and Alisha Farhang are aiming to become Afghanistan's first Olympic skiers. They started out in the mountains of Bamiyan on skis they built themselves. Supporters in Switzerland brought them to St. Moritz for training. Now, 2 years later, they're about to face their first qualifiers. Can they make their Olympic dreams come true?
Make sure your upper body stays calm, upward, straight. You're not leaning into the turn too much.
Coach Andreas Henny is putting on the pressure. Alisha and Sajjad have to improve their posture to pick up more speed.
The end of the turn. Good. Okay, let's see how it goes.
They have 3 days to go until their first International Ski Federation race.
We are representing Afghanistan for the first time in the history of skiing. You know, in the history of skiing in the Western life.
Work, work, work.
It's been 2 years since their first training runs here in St. Moritz.
When I came here, I was really beginners. I didn't ski. Mostly, I was crashing with the skis, and I was falling down.
Keep skiing all the way to the end on your outside ski, and then you change again.
They're aiming to make the World Championships in February and the Olympic Games in 2018. And high aims demand hard training.
Right now, they're practicing keeping their upper body stable. That's fairly hard. It's their second or third day on long racing skis, which are relatively hard to turn. So they'll take some getting used to.
The upscale ski resort of St. Moritz also took a bit of getting used to. It was a radically different world for the two young men from rural Afghanistan. Their trips into town are rare, but always something of an adventure.
This is very new for glamour. He discovered the idea.
This art gallery manager assumes that Sajjad and Alisha are wealthy Middle Easterners and shows them her most expensive works. But in most cases, they're not even familiar with the Western celebrities depicted.
New York.
Michael Jackson.
Michael Jackson? Ah, yeah! Oh, okay.
Whoa. Okay. We are not going actually for shopping or buying something, or just we are here for skiing, and we're enjoying to walk and to skiing.
Their choice of bubbly is mineral water, not champagne. They sleep and eat at a youth hostel, a less glamorous side of St. Moritz. This is now the third winter Sajjad and Alisha have spent in the Swiss Alps. They use their evenings to do their university coursework. One is studying journalism and the other law. They come from Bamiyan province in central Afghanistan, northwest of Kabul. At an elevation of some 2,000 meters, the area has plenty of snow and hosts the country's only ski race. The Afghan Ski Challenge was set up by Christoph Zürcher from Switzerland. In the absence of ski lifts, participants have to trudge to the start, 500 meters further up. The event attracts skiers from all over the world. Alisha and Sajjad were the best performers in recent years. That's how they earned their tickets to Europe.
Yeah, it's changed a lot my life. Otherwise, I wouldn't have been able to come to Switzerland, such a beautiful place to ski.
The event is run by the St. Moritz-based Bamiyan Ski Club, founded by Christoph Zürcher. Its aim is to help the Bamiyan region to develop a fully fledged ski resort. Alisha and Sajjat function as ambassadors.
They've assimilated really well and handled the culture shock. People here love them. They always look forward to the Afghans returning.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
The ski club holds a Swiss version of the Afghan ski challenge to raise money for the two men's living expenses. The race in Afghanistan, of course, is often make or break for the entrants. And here, the run leads down pristine slopes, as opposed to a rough backcountry course.
Well, it's so much fun. It's great to see people are having fun, you know, when they participate to the race. You know, everyone is loving.
The Bamiyan Ski Club throws an après-ski party at a pop-up bar in St. Moritz. The style is more classic Afghan than Western chic.
It obviously works. I think this uncomplicated approach tends to stand out in St. Moritz. There are many local residents too, and they don't want to pay 20 francs for a beer. They don't want this high society atmosphere, and things are a bit more relaxed here with us.
High society atmosphere.
Just before dawn the next morning, Sajjat and Alisha always take the very first bus to get to the slopes before the holiday skiers. But today, a storm is raging on the mountain. The slopes are closed. They could have slept in this one time.
It's difficult sometimes, and then when you come here and the lift is closed, so then you don't know what to do.
The best way they can use the time is to head for the fitness studio. Life at high altitude has given them good stamina, but they need bigger muscles to compete with the European and American skiers. Pumping iron ought to help.
Physically, the power is also important to be a good skier or to turn the skis very good.
Do lots of turning because your skis are quite long.
Later that afternoon, the wind finally lets up, and the two men work on their coordination using one ski. It reminds them of their first attempts in Afghanistan. Having no instructor, they started out learning all the wrong moves.
They've taught themselves many of these techniques, and now it's hard to unlearn them. Even so, we'll keep on it and give it our best, so we can achieve the greatest possible success.
It's the evening before their first race. Alisha chats with his sister in Kabul. Sajjat informs his more than 2,000 Facebook followers back home about how he's doing. Social media are their daily remedy for homesickness.
Here is nice, here is pretty, here is beautiful, but everything of my life is in Afghanistan. My families, my friends, my home.
I miss my parents first, so and then the rest. All the values that we have back home, so we are missing them, some of them. So. But since we are aiming to go to the Olympic, doesn't matter for how long we stay and what and whom we are missing.
They inspect the route before the race. It's snowing, visibility is poor, and the slope's icy. Not the best conditions for their debut on the giant slalom. Time for a pep talk. This is the moment of truth for Christoph Zürcher too. Now he'll find out if Sajjat and Alisha can score enough qualification points for the World Championships and the Olympics.
I'm a little nervous now, I have to admit. Almost more so than the guys themselves. They seem pretty calm to me, but I'm sure that's because of the professional preparation they got from Andreas and the other coaches.
They're competing against Europe's best young skiers. The two young men don't have a realistic chance of even making the top 10.
It doesn't matter how our scales is, but it's good to be part of the racing team.
Sajjad starts next to last. Now the slope is even icier, and the 90 skiers in front of him have tracked out the snow, leaving perilous grooves for him to maneuver across. Christoph watches anxiously as Sajjad takes on the final section.
Afghanistan kommt ins Ziel mit einer Zeit von 1.
Alisha is the last to start. He finishes some way off the pace, but fast enough to score Afghanistan's first points in an official ski race.
So difficult, you know. I'm so happy to get this race done.
Their next goal, the World Championships in 2 weeks' time in St. Moritz. Their first step on the way to next year's Winter Olympics.